I'm Father Gerhart. I'm the Vocation Director for the Diocese of Austin. I've been the Vocation Director for about 3 years now. Started in 2020. What a time to start being the Vocation Director. I know a lot of people felt isolated at that time, the lockdown and the restrictions and things like that. In some ways, the beginning of being a Vocation Director is like COVID for every Vocation Director. You feel a little bit isolated. There is this incredible mission to promote vocations to priesthood and religious life, and it feels like you're the only one. And it feels like you're just, out there spinning your wheels, not getting any traction. I'd love to have some more help. And thanks be to God, the Holy Spirit a few years earlier had inspired Rhonda to offer a training to priests, and not just to priests, a training to their parishes and then their educators, to create a momentum that would be completely impossible for me to do on my own. And now I can assure you I don't feel alone. I have an incredible team of vocation promoters throughout Central Texas. That all happened because Rhonda came and spoke to our priests at our priest convocation last October. So Rhonda and I spoke at the NCDVD convention a little bit earlier. We planned, we customized, we talked about what would make the biggest impact. And she came and she spoke and she inspired the priests of Central Texas. I can assure you, many of the priests said it was the best convocation that they had gone to their entire priesthood in the Diocese of Austin. There was only a month turnaround from that convocation to their number one assignment, which was to go back to the parishes and bring a team of 4 to 6 parishioners to learn how to run a vocation ministry. And because the priests were so inspired by that conference, we had 300 parishioners from throughout Central Texas come to Round Rock, come to St. Williams, and learn how to run a vocation ministry in their parish. I think that was the largest one in vocation ministry history. And there we had, we can give a round of applause for that. It was wonderful. So, with Rhonda, we also had Leticia Ramirez, and so we had 2 tracks going on at the same time. We had our English speakers, we had our Spanish speakers, and the impact has been immediate. The day was impactful, it was inspiring, it was encouraging, it was practical, it was informative. All of these 300 parishioners went back to the parishes with a plan, with zeal, with inspiration, and with know-how. And I'll share with you a little bit of the impact that happens immediately. So we have a wonderful vocation promotion initiative called by Name Sunday. We unfortunately can't really participate very well in National Vocations Awareness Week in the Diocese of Austin because it's at the same time as our Bishop's Appeal. It's very important, right? So the priests have to be preaching on the Bishop's Appeal during that week. So we made Called by Name Sunday take place the 3rd Sunday of Ordinary Time each year, and we have our priests preach on vocations, share their vocation story, and ask parishioners to give names of men and women they think might be called to the priesthood or religious life. The first year we did it, we had 200 names submitted. The second year that we did it, we had 300 names submitted. Then Rhonda came, and we had our vocation promotion workshop. They all went back to the parishes, and the impact was a 300% increase. We had 1,000 names given that year in our Called by Name Sunday initiative. Each person whose name was submitted in the initiative received a letter from Bishop Vasquez, encouraging them to be open, consider, and discern priesthood or religious life. And they had a discernment event to follow up on immediately. So our discernment event to follow up on immediately was our Project Andrew. The year prior, we had 30 young men attend our Project Andrew. The year after the vocation promotion workshop, we also had a 300% increase. We had 100 men come to our Project Andrew. Several of those men entered the seminary. This year, we welcomed 13 new seminarians to the Diocese of Austin. It was our largest class ever. Another event that happened afterwards, we had our Diocesan Holy Hour for Vocations. It was the first time that we had ever done something bringing the whole diocese together to pray for vocations. It was the occasion of, unfortunately, a year without a priestly ordination. For the first time in about 20 years, the Diocese of Austin did not ordain a man to the priesthood. And we were able to, through these vocation ministries that were already on fire and in their parishes, bring the whole diocese together. We had a holy hour for promoting vocations. We had a conference given in English, a conference given in Spanish, both communities coming together, led by Bishop Vasquez. We had a completely packed church of the faithful praying for vocations. So what was an unfortunate news, an occasion, became an opportunity to impress the need of our responsibility to pray for and promote vocations, and the impact and the fruit just continues. The next thing that happened, because we've just bought the whole shelf from Rhonda, all right? So the next thing that happened, we had Rhonda come and speak to all of our Catholic school educators. She was able to speak to 600 teachers and principals in the Diocese of Austin about how to promote vocations in our Catholic schools. Now the fruit is yet to be seen because it just happened, but I look forward to having that momentum that I never would have been able to do on my own. I would have never been able to make this kind of energy and buzz and momentum. I look forward to channeling it and allowing it to bear fruit in our Catholic schools and in our parishes. It's been such a great joy. And again, the Holy Spirit that had inspired Rhonda, that had inspired Vocation Ministries to start earlier, is now bearing fruit in the Diocese of Austin in unimaginable ways. I don't feel alone, and now being with you, it's also a great thing to say that we don't have to feel alone as well.